Typically, we have a dress code on this program. You are breaking it, but it's okay because you're going to be doing studio stuff all day on ESPN2, I take it?
ESPN2, 12 straight hours, all 4 games here from the Big 12 tournament. I just want this to be a moment, okay? We need to have a moment here.
Let's have a moment.
Because the way we started and the way the Cougar Board reacted and thought that I was mean to you.
I have no idea because I don't read Cougar Board.
They need to see us. Just look at us. Like,
it's all good.
We're family and friends, baby.
Good.
We're here in KC together.
We're holding the mic flags. We're in Kansas City. Let's go. This is so exciting. BYU's into the quarterfinals, taking on Texas Tech. This is a team that beat BYU despite BYU having a 17-point lead in that game. Cougars are out for revenge, talking to some of the players. They wanted Texas Tech today. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, you know, and really you go back to how this season has gone. That's the game that would have made me look really, really smart in November when I said they would win 11 games in conference.
You were one off, dude. That was the one.
I was one off, and that was the one. I do think that matters a little bit here. I do think that the fact that they feel like they had them and they let them off the hook, there's a mental edge and a want to get back kind of mode for this BYU team. The question becomes, obviously, after what they were able to accomplish yesterday, 14 made three-pointers, can they replicate that same performance and shoot the ball as well? If they can, they advance and get to play another game. If they can't, then they probably go back home to Provo and get ready to wear a home color uniform in the NCAA tournament. But that's the part that I think that is the best aspect of why are you playing in the Big 12? Well, you're playing in the Big 12, and it elevated everybody, right? This team is basically the same team that finished 5th in the WCC. They just finished 5th and ahead of Kansas in their first season inside the Big 12 Conference because it's mandatory to elevate your play. There is no letdown. There is no slippage because if you don't come and bring it, you're going to lose. They know that. They've experienced that all of conference season, so my anticipation is they're not going to have any slippage here today. That if they lose this game, it's going to be because Texas Tech won the game, not because they lost it.
Texas Tech is a team that's coming in on fire. Just beat Baylor on Saturday at home. 4 seed. Warren Washington, their 7-footer, has not played the last 4 games. TBD whether he's going to play in this one. He had 19 against BYU in the first. Him not playing could be a deal given the effectiveness of BYU's 1-2 punch with Khalifa and Foose.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about Khalifa pregame. As we do a little bit of a show. There's a college scoreboard live that starts at 11 a.m.
Lots of Sean Farnham today, by the way. It's going to be awesome.
But one of the things that I'm talking about is Khalifa because it changes the offense, right? His passing and his skill set is so unique. When I talked to him about it, I said, where did you learn how to pass like that? He said, well, I was Global Academy in Australia, and I had so many talented players around him, and he wasn't finding his own way through. And he said, I had to do something that nobody else was doing at that time, and that's ball movement. And I learned that if I lifted and I could pass the ball well, set up my teammates, all of a sudden the minutes would increase. And I think that's similar to what he's done here at BYU. And the problem that it poses for opponents is that when Foose is in the game, he's going to screen, he's going to dive, he's going to duck. And then he's going to try to create an angle to score. When Khalifa's in the game, he's going to lift, he's going to space, he's going to shoot a 3, he's going to find guys on backdoor cuts. And so really you have to prepare for 2 different offenses. And it just depends on who plays more, what Mark Pope feels is going to give them a distinct advantage in the game. But Khalifa's ability to facilitate the offense as a center guard or a point center, whatever you want to call it, definitely changes things up, especially when you can space the floor with as many shooters as BYU has.
Khalifa's knee has been banged up. I wonder how he's going to do on the first game of a back-to-back that he hasn't had kind of
minutes were limited
mostly all
yesterday.
year.
But minutes were limited yesterday.
17,
yeah. So it's not
many.
like the wear and tear is there, and the treatment that you know the
and
trainers
fasting,
have been doing,
of course, and everything. Yep.
There's definitely ways to get around that. It's not like he played 38 minutes yesterday and he's got to come back and try to do it again today.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the sweet spot of minutes that he probably plays again. Because of that knee, if you can get 15 to 20, that's the range that I think that Mark Pope would like to see out of him, and then that would allow him to also be able to come back should there be a game tomorrow.
Pop Isaacs is the guy who went off for 32. That was the most against BYU until Saturday when Javon Small went for 34, and then Darius Johnson went for 32 yesterday. So BYU's been giving up some 30-point scores, but have won the last 2 games by 14. So I don't know if it's the worst thing in the world if Pop Isaacs goes off. You just can't have, other guys kind of flowing there. What does BYU have to do to win this game other than, if they make 14 threes, they're going to win? But
rebounding. The rebounding war. Can they dominate on the glass? Can you manufacture second chance points? You know, the offensive rebound kick out threes that are such high percentage looks. Can you make sure that you're not giving up second chance points on your defensive glass? I think to me that's going to be key, because also what that means is you're playing with a physical nature. More often when you're playing with a physical nature, what does that also lead to? Free throws. And I think all of those things, it's champ week, you know, everything slows down just a little bit. And so when the game slows down, if the shots aren't falling, how else can you be productive? And to me, you send a message to your opponent. You keep them in front of you. You play position defense and make sure they're taking contested shots. You get in gaps, don't give up driving lanes, and then you rebound the ball. You don't give them extra life. And if you do that over the course of 40 minutes, probably at the end of the game, you're going to end up looking up the scoreboard going, hey, we're pretty good.
Red Raiders and Cougars. Winner gets Houston tomorrow. #1 team in the league and in the country. There were some great games last night, too. This tournament is turning out to be exactly what we thought, except I don't think Kansas was not going to play the top 2 players, get ready for next week, and then get upset by 20 to Cincinnati, and then Texas goes out to Kansas State.
Yeah, you know, I think you look at, in particular, the Kansas game. That was kind of something that I kind of expected. Obviously, I saw Cincinnati in Provo, and I saw the way they fought in that game. Wes Miller's team needs to win games here. They need to win games in a big-time way to try to have any chance of getting to the NCAA tournament. Picked up their 20th win yesterday. I mean, you look at the additions of this conference. Houston, well, they're coming from the American. They're not going to have the same success in the Big 12. Oh, they won the conference. Oh, BYU's coming from the WCC. You know, they were a 5th-place team last year. They're not going to have success in the Big 12. They finished ahead of Kansas. You know, Cincinnati, you know, again, you know, Wes Miller hasn't made the NCAA tournament yet from that team. Well, they got 20 wins inside the Big 12. And that's impressive. And next year, the teams that are coming in are going to be equally as impressive. And that's what makes this conference so special, so unique. But for Wes Miller's team, you knew they were going to have an edge last night. And they knew they were shorthanded. And so they felt like, hey, you know what? Let's be aggressive. Let's attack. Yep. Let's apply the pressure and put it on Kansas and see how they respond. And Kansas did not respond well last night. And for Kansas, that's a throwaway game. Crumple up the piece of paper, don't even look at the box score, and just get rid of it. Because it won't matter as long as you get those other 2 guys back for next week's tournament. And that's when it will matter for the Kansas Jayhawks. I still don't think the Jayhawks are a Final Four quality team, just based on the fact that they have no depth whatsoever. And I think that was exposed once again last night.
Okay, it's going to be a lot of Sean Farnham today. What's the go-to, hey, my energy's down a little bit, I need to raise that, say it about 6 o'clock tonight?
Well, it would be a cougar tail naturally, but Tyson didn't bring me one. Tyson Jacks did not bring me a cougar tail. I'm very, very disappointed.
We did record a Big 12 Eats segment, which we'll put out there soon enough. So we tried the Cosmos Churros here. More on that later. But Sean,
no, but honestly, it'll probably be some Coca-Cola Classic.
Yeah.
I feel like Coke is the only brand that you can drink.
Wow. What is this, Wayne's World? What a sellout. Back to you.